Have you ever had that feeling, deep down, that something isn't quite right? You see the headlines, you hear the experts on TV telling you that the economy is strong, that everything is under control. But the system feels fragile, like a beautiful glass sculpture with 1,000 tiny cracks running through it, ready to shatter at any moment. While the world is distracted, the wealthiest 1% aren't just watching the cracks spread. They are quietly building their escape routes, positioning themselves for a global financial reset that will permanently rewrite the rules of money and power. And what they know is something the mainstream media will never tell you. The first warnings are not hidden in complex financial reports. They're happening in plain sight, disguised as normal life. Millions are swiping credit cards like never before, pushing consumer debt to terrifying record-breaking highs. It is a silent scream for help from a population that can no longer afford the life they were being sold. At the same time, a terrifying number of corporations, known as zombie companies, are shambling through the economy. These businesses don't actually make a profit. They only survive by taking on more and more cheap debt, a financial life support that's about to be unplugged as interest rates climb. And while this is happening, Wall Street is caught in a frenzy, pouring trillions into AI stocks, chasing a dream of infinite growth that looks eerily similar to the dot-com mania just before it all came crashing down in 2000. These aren't just isolated problems. They are the tremors before the earthquake, the visible cracks in a facade that's about to crumble. But what the charts and numbers don't show you is the escape plan the billionaires are already putting into action. While the average person is being told to keep investing in their 401k, the smartest money in the world is making moves that tell a very different story. Warren Buffett, the most famous investor alive, is now sitting on the largest pile of cash in his company's history, over $180 billion. That isn't an investment strategy, it's a war chest. He's not the only one. Tech moguls and Wall Street titans are quietly buying up assets that can't be printed or deleted. Thousands of acres of productive farmland, remote survival bunkers in places like New Zealand, and massive stockpiles of physical gold. They are diversifying out of the very system that made them rich. This isn't a sign of panic. It's the ultimate vote of no confidence in the future of our paper money system. They understand a fundamental truth. When the financial storm hits, the only things that will matter are tangible assets you can touch and control. And their actions reveal that they believe the storm is no longer a distant possibility, but an approaching certainty. And they know exactly what it will look like, because they've seen it happen before. To understand what's coming, we have to look back at the ghost of 2008. Most people remember the headlines of banks failing and families losing their homes. But the real story, the one that happened in the shadows, was far more shocking. As the world panicked, a small group of private equity firms and hyper-wealthy investors saw the chaos not as a crisis, but as the single greatest buying opportunity in a generation. While millions of foreclosure signs went up on lawns across America, these investors swooped in with billions in cash. They didn't just buy a few houses. They bought entire neighborhoods, tens of thousands of homes at a time, for pennies on the dollar. In the blink of an eye, they became the new landlords for the very people who had just lost everything. The wealth wasn't destroyed. It was surgically transferred from the middle class to the ultra-elite. That crisis created a new class of corporate landlords and consolidated power in a way that had never been seen before. And what's coming next is being designed to make 2008 look like a minor tremor. At the heart of the coming crisis is a ticking time bomb, a doomsday machine that has been silently counting down for decades. The United States national debt. The number is so astronomically large, now over $34 trillion, that it's almost impossible to comprehend. For years, politicians were able to ignore it because interest rates were near zero. But that era is over. With interest rates now rising, the cost to simply pay the interest on that debt is exploding, projected to soon cost America over $1 trillion a year. That's more than the entire national defense budget. It's a mathematical trap with no escape. Every dollar spent paying interest is a dollar not spent on roads, schools, or social security. The system has reached a point where it must borrow new money just to pay the interest on the old money. It's a death spiral, and the people in power know it. They can't fix it, they can't stop it, and they know the only way out is to reset the entire system. But this time, there's a new threat brewing, one that could make the debt problem explode in a way we've never seen before. Imagine a world where the government doesn't just see your bank account, it controls it. A world where every single purchase you make, from a cup of coffee to a new car, is tracked, monitored, and potentially even restricted. This isn't a dystopian fantasy, it's the future being actively developed by central banks around the world. And it's called a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. They will sell it to the public as a convenient modern upgrade to our financial system. But its true purpose is control. During the next crisis, when banks are failing and people are panicking, governments will present CBDCs as the safe and stable solution. But this new digital money could come with terrifying new rules. It could be programmed to have an expiration date, forcing you to spend it before it vanishes. It could be blocked from purchasing certain things, like fuel or ammunition, if you fall out of line with the government's agenda. It is the perfect tool for a system drowning in debt, a way to manage, control, and dictate the financial lives of every single citizen. It's a digital leash, and they are preparing to put it on everyone. For over 70 years, the world has run on the US dollar. It's been the foundation of global trade, giving America unprecedented power and allowing it to rack up unimaginable debt with few consequences. But this era is rapidly coming to an end. An alliance of nations, led by China and Russia, is openly working to dismantle the dollar's dominance. They are creating new trade alliances and payment systems that completely bypass the US financial system. This movement, known as de-dollarization, is the single greatest external threat to America's stability. When countries stop using the dollar to buy oil and other goods, all of those trillions of dollars that have been held overseas will come flooding back home. The result would be an inflationary tsunami, a tidal wave of money chasing a limited number of goods, making prices for everyday items skyrocket overnight. This is how empires fall. The internal cancer of debt meets the external shock of a currency crisis, creating a perfect storm that could wipe out the savings of hundreds of millions of people. Faced with a system designed to fail, panic is a useless response. Preparation is the only answer. The coming crisis will be devastating for those who are unprepared, but it will also be the greatest opportunity in your lifetime to build real, lasting wealth. The first step is to change your mindset. You can no longer trust the institutions and paper promises that have defined the last 50 years. You must start thinking like your own central bank. This means converting your depreciating paper currency into real, tangible assets that have held their value for thousands of years. Assets like physical gold and silver. It means owning things that are essential for human survival. Productive land that can grow food or provide clean water. It means investing in high-quality, profitable companies that produce things people actually need, not speculative tech stocks that are built on hype and cheap debt. In a world of illusions, you must become a hunter of real value. While others are clinging to the sinking ship of the old system, you can be building your own personal ark, one that will not only survive the flood, but allow you to navigate the new world that comes after. What is coming is not just another market crash. It is a fundamental rewiring of our entire financial world. The unimaginable levels of debt, the decay of the US dollar's global power, and the quiet preparations of the global elite all point to the same conclusion. A great reset is on the horizon. This event will not destroy wealth. It will transfer it on a scale that will make 2008 look insignificant. It will move from those who trust in paper promises to those who hold real assets. It will shift from those who are unprepared and fearful to those who are informed, prepared, and courageous. The rules of the game are changing, and the window to position yourself on the right side of history is closing fast. The question you must ask yourself is not if it will happen, but when. And when it does, will you be a victim of the great wealth transfer? Or will you be one of the few who saw it coming and prepared to seize the opportunity of a lifetime?